Welcome to the show. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Jake's Blue Cheese Dip, where we believe that chewing tobacco can be delicious too. Roll the music.
Ladies and gentlemen, from an undisclosed location in Portland, Oregon, the spare bedroom, it's time for MTG Tonight with your host, Jake Boss.
Tonight on the program, we are sitting down for a very special episode of MTG Tonight where it's just me and you. And we're going to be talking about my favorite moments on MTG Tonight. I'm going to show you some unseen footage from the pilot that we shot and threw away. And I look terrible in it. I have made some changes based on this footage, so it looks like crap. But we'll get to that later. And at the end of the show, we're going to be talking about how you can be my guest on MTG Tonight, even if you don't live in my fair city, Portland, Oregon, anywhere in the world. We're going to space ghost you in. Send me an email at this, whatever. I'll give you details later because I want you to watch the whole show. So let's start out with moment number 3. This is probably one of my favorites because it was the first shoot we ever did. Even before the pilot that got thrown away, all that other stuff. My musical guest, Kane & Zabel Brothers. This was the first shoot I ever did. I had my blue backdrop and a whole bunch of equipment doing this weird thing with no product to explain what it is that I was up to. And the guys just kind of had to trust that this would be cool. And since we had so many dudes and just this small backdrop, that thing was stretched all the way as far as it could go. Anyway, here's a quick clip.
I'm shaking at the knees. I need some water, please. Just once, won't you up, please? Oh, I've been worked to death.
Guys, I want to thank you so much for being here. You play fantastic music. So, Zach, you're a Magic player?
Yeah, man. I used to play Magic, yeah.
And do you think the audience can tell that we recorded this conversation on a different day?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I like EDH. That's a fun way to play the game.
Because honestly, I can't remember anything that I asked you when we shot this.
Oh, I played a blue, black, infect deck.
Well, that's spectacular. So you guys have one more tune. Kane & Zabel Brothers, they're fantastic. I really want to work with them again in the future because they're not only really down-to-earth guys, but they're making the music that I personally love. But my next clip is with Gino Bigi. It's when he and I were catching up, essentially, on the show and talking about old standard environments and stuff. But just having Magic reignite this relationship with somebody, it speaks to a lot of what this game is about for me and why it's important. So, without further ado, here's another clip.
We definitely got into some trouble. Yeah.
Yes. So we had this foreign exchange teacher from Switzerland, Madlena Betzola.
Miss Betzola.
And you could get away with anything in that class, and we actually did.
Yeah.
Like, I would get disciplinary referrals for lightsaber fights, and people would jump out the windows and run relay races.
The rally race out the windows. We'd jump out the windows, run around the whole building, come back in the side door and tag the next person. You'd roll out the window.
Just like the most rotten things to do to somebody who's, stuck here.
Yeah.
As far as I understand, like, they tried to send her back. Because
I could imagine she probably was not very happy with the situation.
All of our teachers out there, especially you Swiss teachers, God bless you.
Yeah, it's later in life, we really do appreciate you. Even if we don't show it at the moment.
If I had to do it all again, I certainly wouldn't.
Oh, man.
But, the past is the past, and you might as well smile about it.
Laugh, give it a good laugh, and live and learn.
So my number one moment from MTG Tonight so far was from my episode with the professor. This was something that I had prepared before he got there. I wanted to give him something that he needed to play. Like, you can't help but play this card. So let's look at the tape. As a patron, I supported you and you sent me a signed card, and I find a way to put it into my card draw deck as much as I can. And
there it is.
Whenever I drop it.
One of the rare ones, by the way, one of the rare ones, I almost always sign in black ink, and I thought, blue might go more aesthetically, and I didn't really. I just had one marker, and so only a few people got a blue signature. So
well, that makes it even more special.
Blue, yes.
And it's 4 mana for draw 2 cards at instant speed. It's fringe playable, but I can make it work.
It isn't the card. To me, the image on 7th Ed Inspiration, before I had a logo, this was my logo. When I had the one video, I needed to choose an icon, and I, again, didn't imagine that I was going to be doing this more than the one video, and I was just like, I just want a Magic card art as my image, and I just love 7th Ed inspiration, that aha, he's like, aha, I've got it. And for a long time, because it was 1 year until I got my logo, and over the course of the first year, that picture was what was representative of the college. And so that's a very special image to me in that sense. So when I wanted to thank the people that supported me on Patreon with a signed card as a thank you for that support, I thought, well, it's not a great card. It could go in a it could go in a just the
target
fact that
player
to me,
actually matters. Like as someone who's forcing this into my deck, target player with a consecrated Sphinx.
So yeah, what is the deck
actually
that you made for it?
Well, it's just my group hug deck. But the reason that this deck box is out is this card meant a lot to me because you know I was battling depression and just getting into Magic kind of at the same time, and to me this represents you know I had a friend on. It was that one-way friendship. But I wanted to return the favor with another fringe playable card. I cracked this myself.
Ah, this is far from Cyclonic Rift. This is
I signed it, and I want you to have that.
Well, thank you.
I chose Cyclonic Rift because, well, now you have to play it because it goes in every deck.
Absolutely irritate my play group with this to no end. Thank you, Jake.
Now, this brings me to something that I feel a lot of you might be able to relate on. If you're sitting here watching me on YouTube on this sub 1,000 subscriber channel, that means you probably spend a lot of your time on YouTube. I'm one of those people who finds a new YouTuber and watches every single video in their backlog. And by the time you hit the bottom and you're waiting for new videos to come out, you've spent, dozens of hours with these people. So breaking down the barrier between this one-way friendship where I can say, so Brian, your dad was a actor and a musician and this influenced your life in this way. What do you think about that? And yada, yada, just being so prepared because I had casually absorbed this content before I even started this show or was preparing for that interview. It was a really nice thing, and I hope that everyone kind of gets that same experience with, if not the professor, then your favorite YouTuber, because that's a really special feeling. And I've had a lot of those experiences lately with the TV starting to talk back to me or talking back to the TV through Twitter or whatever it may be. But now we are going to go into the thing that is going to make me cringe the most. There's only bits and pieces of this left, so you're not going to see too much of it, but there were some lessons learned. The audio got messed up on the first episode that we ever shot, which was with Chris Tabor, talking about his mill deck. And thank goodness, because I had a perfectly good reason why that show needed to be scrapped on site. There's nothing we can do about it. We just got to move on, shoot another one in 2 weeks. Because the angles were so tight that they were extremely unflattering. And then the wide shot was so wide that for me to bounce between my angles, it was awkward for the viewer to see. So as well, the reason that we do this whole visual effects people in spiel is because of that episode. Because I was like, wait a second. We don't have a studio audience or anything who's going to cheer when he comes in. There's no, stage for him to walk across. And these camera tripods are so cheap that you can't really do camera moves with them. So we were like, okay, Chris, just walk in. And, he came and sat down and said, how's it going, Jake? And, it just wasn't natural. So we kind of turned that into a positive with VFXing people in and the whole this noise. And, anyway, without further ado, without further babbling from me about this, brace yourselves. Here's some terrible footage from episode 0 of MTG Tonight. My name is Jake, and this is MTG Tonight. This is a show that we've been working on for quite some time, probably 2 months now. But I thought, hey, let's take the deck tech and do something different with it. So Magic is a social game, especially in the Commander format. There's a lot of politics and stuff like that, but really, I personally feel that I play Magic to play with friends instead of to win. So, I don't know. I don't know that I need to pitch that stuff. Show, don't tell. I'd rather be me and have people see me than try to fucking tell people like, hey, you know, here's what I've got. Watch me do it. I'd rather just do it instead of make a promise.
All right.
So,
Find your authenticity.
yeah, here's the truth. I have been a showman my entire life, and I love Magic the Gathering. So I think that a Tonight Show is a perfect scenario for us all to learn a little bit more about the game, maybe find something new, and enjoy some nice Portland local music. I'm really excited about this show. We're talking about Mono Blue Mill with my good friend Chris Tabor. Wow. I will just say we've come a long way. Another thing for that episode as well is we shot that in my living room versus my dining room. You know, people have complained about echo and stuff, and it's because my dining room has high ceilings and stuff, which is something I'll get to in a bit. I have some related knowledge on this that's really exciting. But we had to move every single piece of furniture out of the living room and into the dining room and tear apart all of it every time I wanted to shoot a show. And we did that 2 times and said, okay, never again, and put the dining room table and the chairs on a carpet so we can just pull that and then set the show up where that was. But the ceiling fan is still right there. Anyway, we've had a lot of great musical acts on the show so far. And while I don't have a dedicated musical act here, here's a short montage of some of the fantastic artists that we've had. I've been blessed with this many people near me tangentially, and their willingness to come on this show and do something that they haven't heard of before for a Tonight Show about Magic the Gathering. Anyway, enough of my yakking. What do you say? Let's boogie.
Inside tinkering with a producer who says, we've got another hit. I don't have to try. I don't have to try. Yes, I've got so many good ideas. Yes, I've got so many.
You know I'll bury it again. You know I'll bury it again. But if heaven's so lonely, won't you stop with perfect?
My headache's killing me. My headache's killing me. 'Cause I've been working in the sun all day. I've been working in the sun all day. I've been working in the sun all day. They're working me to death.
We are back, and we are talking about how you can be on MTG Tonight. Now, I talked about this on Twitter at JakeBossMTG, and I retweeted it on the MTG Tonight account. So follow me there if you want news early. And from those posts, I've already gotten plenty of responses of people who are interested in doing this. Now, what do you need to do? It's really simple. Send me an email. Subject line guest, mtgtonight@gmail.com. Tell me what your availability is, your time zone, stuff like that, and what it is that you want to talk about. It should be something that you are an expert in and something that you love. That's what I tell every guest beforehand, and I'd love to hear from you because we are changing things up. We are moving into a dedicated studio. Now, when I say that, you might think, oh, I found myself a warehouse or something. But realistically, I'm taking my office/guest room and moving the show in there permanently. The cameras are always going to be set up. They're always going to be ready to roll. All I got to do is focus them up, put in some fresh memory cards, and we're good to go. If you're wondering how I'm going to get you into Portland, we're not going to do that. We're changing from this desk and chair format to a Space Ghost format. We're going to have the chair still, and we're going to have the gameplay footage and all that stuff still coming with locals. But we're going to more frequently see people in the Magic community that we care about live via satellite. We're going to be able to talk about different subjects from different perspectives more frequently. And I'm not going to have to build this stinking set every single time. With that, we are wrapping up this very special episode of MTG Tonight. Special meaning it was a clip show, and I'm telling you my plans for the future, which I tend to do a lot. But new studio, more folks that you know that we care about, and even you. I'm excited for this. I'm really excited. This is the future of the show. To all you new folks out there, which is a third of my subscribers now, thanks for taking a chance on me. And thank you so much to Mitch from the Commander's Quarters for adding me to his Creators Quarters initiative. That's probably one of the best decisions that I've made since I started content creation, is reaching out when he sent out that open casting call. And I hope that this can be something similar for other folks out there as well, that they get to be on my program, and while it is a smaller scale, that they get to have their voice heard, because it means a lot. So with that, I'm going to close out this program. If you like what I do, subscribe on YouTube, but if you love what I'm doing, consider supporting me on Patreon, but you don't have to do that. Just looking at my face is enough. Thank you so much. Good night. MTG Tonight is now a part of the Creators Quarters community. For more great Magic content, click on the playlist in the top right.